Hey guys, so welcome to this particular course, okay, of the part 5 of the Python, where we will going to teach you about the list, okay. So there are plenty of types like list, tuple, dictionary, okay. So we will going to cover the list, tuple and dictionary, okay, in detail. This will basically going to give you more insights about what are the different methods and functions we have inside the list, tuple and dictionary, and more details about this particular topic which we have here. We will going to cover each and everything from basics, and you will see in the dictionaries we have plenty of different methods and functions. Even in the list you will see most of them here, like what is li, supine, clear, common, and plenty of other things. So we will going to cover each and everything, okay. Let's say from the list, if we just talk about, so we will going to cover features of the list, basic list operation, useful list operations, common list, methods, searching and counting, sorting, reversing, slicing, range and list comprehensions, and nested list and filtering. In the tuple also we will going to cover about the key features of tuples, how you can create it, limited tuple methods which you have, which is very useful for you guys, okay. And in dictionary also we will going to cover plenty of things like key features of dictionary, how to create dictionary, add and update dictionary, okay, how you can get the keys, values and item in the dictionary, deleting items, looping through a dictionary, and plenty of other things, okay. So if you really are interested to learn more about the part 5, okay, so of this particular free course of the Python, so make sure that you watch the complete free course from starting to end to learn more about list, tuple and dictionary in very detail, okay. And related to whatever we will going to teach you, we will also going to provide you the notes as well, okay. So make sure you watch the complete free course from starting to end. Hey guys, so before we proceed further, okay, I just want to teach you guys about this part, okay. So make sure that this is the part 5, okay. So now what I will going to suggest you guys is to just search for a KuKu courses on your browser and just go to this link kukucourses.com. Go here on the link. Now once you come to our website, okay, you can just go to extras, click on blocks, and after that you will see this learn to code Python for beginners, okay. In case you don't see it here, you can just search for learn to code in Python and click on the search button, okay. Sorry, learn to code Python, click on search, and you will going to then find this article, that is the learn to code Python for beginners, okay. So if you just go here, now in this article you will going to notice we already have various part 1, okay. And we also have part 2 as well. So at the top you can see we have the table of content, okay. So here we have part 1 as a basic and part 2 as a operators, okay. And also part 3 where we have talked about the conditions, and part 4 where we have talked about the strings, okay. So let's say you click on the part 1, you will go to the part 1, and related to that we have here the part 1 video over here, okay. And below that we have all the I can say notes related to that. And similarly if you go to the top, you will see the part 2 here. If you tap on this, okay, so you will go to the part 2 where we have talked about the part 2 is all about operators. So we have covered about this particular topic, okay. So we have that here, and below that we have all the nodes related to that, okay, like what is modulus and so on. And similarly we have here part 3, part 4, and of course we will also going to put the part 5 as well, okay. So what I mean to say is that this is of course the part 5, so just make sure that you guys first go ahead and watch the part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4 if you haven't, okay. Otherwise what will going to happen, you will going to face plenty of problems, and I do not want you guys to have any sort of a problem, okay. So that's the reason I want you guys to first watch part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and then only proceed with the lecture, okay. But this particular part will be all about the list, okay. So we will going to cover about the list in very detail, okay. So I created one folder named list, and here we will going to cover more about the list. So just make sure that you watch the previous part before you proceed with this particular lecture. Okay, now guys, if we talk about the concept of list, okay, so wait, let me also open my notepad. So I will just go for the tool and just search for notepad. Okay, and after that I will see this notepad online free tool, close the ad. Okay, so right now we will going to talk about the list. Okay, now lists are of three type. One is the normal list, okay, and the second one, we have, we can say it like a tuple, and sorry, tuple, okay, and the third one we have is dictionary. Okay, so let's cover about that. Okay, so it's very simple and easy, as we have already discussed, but let's go with the very quick. So sometimes what happen, you all know we have a different data types, like text we call that as a string in the Python, number we say it as an integer, decimal as a floats, and let's say options as a boolean like true and false type of a data. Now let's say I go here and let's say for each and everything I need to create new variable. For let's say name, I need to create a variable name. Let's say to write my age, I need to create another, let's say, variable. Okay, and so on. Okay, and let's say if I say about, let's say, marks. Okay, so let's say how much marks I got, so I can just put here that. Okay, and after this, okay, wait, and after this, okay, uh, I need to, let's say, write plenty of data. Okay, so what you have understood is that for different data type I need to create different variables. Now let's say, is it possible to put all these different types of a data, okay, or let's say repetitive data like multiple text data or maybe multiple numbers data inside one particular bucket, or I can say cup, that is the variable. So that is possible using list. So what you can do is that instead of this, you can just create a variable Kunal, and inside that you can just write whatever you want. Okay, so for example, my age, you can put it, let's say 24, my marks, okay, like that. Even boolean type of data like true and false. Okay, so any type of a data you can easily create in the list. Okay, like let's say true, false, any type of data. Or you can, let's say, am I married, so answer is say no. So any type of a data you can put inside the variables. Okay, so this is the concept of list. So list help you to store multiple type of a data, or even let's say same type of a data multiple times. Okay, uh, so this is what it is. Now when we talk about, let's say, the characteristics, okay, so this is something, okay, just for your teaching purpose I taught about it. Okay, okay, now when we talk about, let's say, characteristics, okay, characteristics of list. So guys, generally list, when we talk about list, so it's basically ordered. That means it's properly in the order form, like 24, 88. Okay, so it will be in order. Okay, second thing, you can say it's a mutable. That means you can easily change it whenever you want to. And the third thing is always dynamic. Okay, it can change anytime, so it's very flexible to use. Okay, so this is some sort of a characteristics, you can say, of the list. You do not have to go inside it. Okay, but always remember that list, okay, right now the list are basically ordered, mutable, and dynamic. Okay, now list has different types, okay, as we have uh, discussed about it. So when we talk about the list types of list, okay, so let's say one we have is the normal list. Second we have tuple type of a data. Then the third we have sets as well. Okay, but we generally don't use it. And also dictionary. Okay, but believe me, sets are not that much important for us to cover, but these are some types and that we have also covered over here. Like list are basically, in the brackets. Tuples we generally put in the small brackets, sets in the curly brackets, and dictionary like this. So generally we list, tuple and dictionary are very important. Okay, sets are we rarely use it. Okay, instead of sets we prefer to directly use dictionary. So we will going to cover each one of them, okay, over here. So let's start with the list, okay, and play with the list. So for that I will just go to main here, and let's create one folder list, and inside this we will going to learn each and everything about list. Okay, now let's talk about the list. Okay, we have here, so I will just going to open a new file, and let's say here the very first thing we will going to talk about is the ways. Okay, so what are the different ways we have available for the list? Now lists are basically this category we will going to talk, which is very common and you will always going to find. Generally we use it in the Python. Generally, frankly speaking, we use list and dictionary a lot. Okay, so let's first cover about the list, and it is always represented with these square brackets, right? So let's talk about it. So when we talk about the ways, okay, there are different ways. So the very first way we have is with the square brackets. We use to represent the list. For example, let's say if I type here my list equals to, and here you can put anything you want. For example, it could be, let's say, some text, maybe some numbers like this. Okay, or maybe it can be, let's say, decimal, or it could be, let's say, boolean like true or false, any type of a data. That is the first thing, and you can always print the list like this and pass the variable. Okay, run the application, you will see it will print that on your terminal. So this is the first way. And generally the second way we have is, let's say, using list constructors. Okay, so this is also something you can do. Okay, so they basically both works the same way. Okay, there's basically no such different. And also when we just talk about we have one more method using list comprehensions. Okay, so we will going to cover this topic, okay, after some time. Okay, but right now you don't have to worry about it, and it's a little bit technical, so I do not want to cover it right now. Okay, but there are few ways. Let's not go too much inside it. Okay, so in generally speaking we generally don't use it. Okay, but let's now focus on the main things like update. Let's say if you want to ever update your list. So as I have told you that list which we are covering right now can be mutable. That means we can change it. It's very dynamic. That means we can flexibly change the things. We can all and it's properly ordered. Now let's say we have here the list. Okay, let's say I put here, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 like this. Okay, now let's say I want to uh, you know uh, update it. Okay, so let's say in place of this, first I want to put hello. That means in the position of 1 I want to put hello, and rest everything I want to exactly be the same. So I will just going to write like this list in the brackets. I will say that in the place of 0 position, right now in 0 position we have 1. So in the place of 0 position I want to add, let's say, hello like this. Okay, and just print the list. Now see what will going to happen. Run the application, you will see what it does is that in the place of 1, okay, it just replace that with the hello. So you can always update your list. So that's the reason I told you it's mutable. You can anytime change it, okay, you want, right? So this is something you can do. So that is the update. Okay, let's say instead of one position, let's say instead of 2, okay, so 2 is in 0 1 position, because as I have told you, Python always start the indexing from 0 1 2 3, and I highly suggest you guys to watch the part 1 2 3 and even part 4, okay, so where we have covered more about it, okay, you can say indexing and all. So please follow that, so you will properly understand it, and I do not want to repeat the things to make the lectures unnecessary lengthy, right? So this is something. So let's say instead of this, let's say 1, now see, instead of 2 it will place that with the hello. You can see now 1 is at it as it is, because we have said that in the 0 location you don't have to do anything, but in the place of 1 currently 1 has 2, but we have said that instead of 2, replace the 1 position with the hello. So you can see instead of 2 it replace that with the hello, and rest everything are same. So this is something you can do, okay. Also you can change the multiple I can say elements. So suppose, let's say I want to change each and everything from, let's say 0 to, let's say 2, okay. So I just want to replace it, let's say till 3, okay, and let's say I want to replace that with, let's say 10 comma 20 comma 30. Now you can see in the 0 location we have 1, in the first position okay we have 2, in the third position we have sorry, in the second position we have 3, and in third position we have 4, okay. So so basically what I want is that I want it to replace with 10 20 30, and rest everything will be same. If you run the application, you can see 10 20 30, okay, just replace that. Now the thing is that it will be the ending point, okay. For example, let's say here I have said here list 03, okay, I put like this, list 03. Now here we have here, basically if we just teach you with the format start and stop. So if you have watched the previous topics, okay, so we have discussed that stop is basically excluded, okay. So even if you put here 3, so it will give you till the 2 position, so that's the reason it has given us till 30, okay. And after this you can also do concatenate, okay. So for example concatenate.py, okay. So let's say we have here the list, okay, list, let's say 1, and I will say here 1 2 3 4 5, okay, and similarly we have a list 2 equals to, okay, let's say 6 7 8, and let's say 9, and let's say 10. Now I want to merge them, okay. So what I will going to do, I can say, let's say result equals to list 1 plus list 2. Now don't think like that the plus list 1 will going to add with the 6, not like that. It will basically going to add inside one list. So if I clear it up, and let's say if I run the application, you can see okay, sorry, I have forgotten to print like this. Now if you run the application, you can see 1 2 3 4 5, and then another list got merged like 6 7 8 9 10. So this is something we have here as a concatenate. You can also repeat things in the list. Okay, so let's say for example I have, let's say here, list, and let's say I have some details like, let's say 9, and also let's say I have, let's say, some text, let's say like k. Okay, and I have the data like true, whatever you want. Now let's say I want to get this list repeat. Okay, so what I can do is that I can write like this print. Okay, okay, and whatever variable that is the list, so I will just going to put this here, and how many times you want to repeat it, so just multiply it by 5. Now if you clear this up, run the application, you can see it has repeated first 356k true. Okay, and it got repeated 5 times. You can see 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5, and it has repeated 5 times, and all inside the same list. Awesome, right? This is something if you want to repeat the list. Now we do have also membership.py here. Okay, now you all know, like we use membership to know whether a particular thing is available uh, inside that or not. For example, in we use when we want to know that any particular value is available or not. Okay, and not in basically do the opposite of true and false. Let's see that in the action. For example, I create, let's say, numbers, and let's say I put here some dummy numbers. Now let's say I want to check whether any particular number is available in these variable numbers or not. So let's say I can ask the users about some input. Okay, so let's say I create a new variable check, and here I want to ask the input, okay, that enter a number to check. So this is sort of a program, first program, okay, just for your teaching purpose. And let's say you all know that by default it will take that as a string. Okay, if you have watched the previous lessons, okay, previous things, so where we have taught the basics, that always it will by default take that as a string. So let's do one thing, let's convert this into integer at the starting only. Okay, so even the whatever digit user will going to put, Python will treat that as a number, that is the integer. Okay, so let's say if I clear this up, now let's say I want to add some sort of a condition. If, let's say, check, that means whatever the user will going to put the number, so I just want that if this particular variable, the number which user will put, is available in this particular variable or not, in numbers or not. Okay, so if this condition is true, that means if whatever number user will put and that number is available in the variable, so you just need to say found. Otherwise, else you just need to say not found, like this. Okay, simple. So let's run the application. Now it is saying to enter a number to check. So suppose if I put 4, click on enter, so Python will see that the user has put 4 numbers. So is this 4 number, so the check has become 4. Okay, because user had put the input 4. So this 4 number in numbers, that means in this variable it will check the 4 number is available or not. If available, so you can see the result is as it has printed as a found. But let's say this time if we put, let's say, number like, let's say 60, so it will say not found. Now check, we have make the equals to 60, So 60 is not available in this particular list, so the reason it has said not found. Okay, simple and easy. Okay, so this is something we have here. And one more thing which I want to tell you, that see, right now we have set for the in, we have used here in, you can see here we have used in. But if you use not in front of in, so whatever the result you have got here, it will just going to give you the opposite of it. So, suppose if I just write here not, okay, that's it. Now whatever you will going to do, okay, it will just going to do the opposite of it. So for example, let's say this time if I write 4 now, you can see not found, but earlier when we use the 4, it said found. So what not will going to do is that it will actually make the opposite result of what you used to get in the in, okay, in. So you can see earlier in the without not, we used to get 4 as a found and 60 as not found. Now we have used 4, so we got not found, and let's say now 60 it has said not found. Now you will see if I run it again, and if this time I put 60, so it will say found. Okay, so it will just going to opposite the result. So that's the concept of the membership. So it basically helps you to check particular element is available in that variable or not. So this is where we use the concept of membership. Now we also have allies as well. Okay, so you can also see the allies. For example, let's say I create list 1, and let's say here I put 1 2 3, and list 2, let's say I can put, or I can make the list 2 equals to, let's say, list 1. So it's very basic thing. If list 1 will be equals to this one, and we have said that list 2 will equals to list 1, so automatically list 2 will also be equals to this particular values. Okay, so let's say even if I let me first clear it up. So even if I, let's say, print here both list 1 comma list 2, so it will just going to give the same result, because if list 1 is equals to this value, so obviously list 2 we have said that it should be equals to list 1, so ultimately list 2 will also become equals to this value. Okay, so this is something we have here, the allies, okay, where you can make the things equals with each other. Now let's say I want to do some changes. Okay, for example, let's say if I want that in the list 2, okay, let's say in the 0 position we have 1. Okay, so if I say list 2 in 0 position, I want to make it equals to 100. Now see, if I run the application, it will say 100 to 3, 100 to 3, because see, list 2 is equals to list 1. So whatever I will going to make the changes in list 2, okay, so that will also going to implement it in the list 1. So I made the changes, and I told that in the list 2 whatever we have in the 0 location, which is 1, so just replace that with 100. So that has also got effect in the list 2, but as list 2 is also equals to list 1, so automatically it has also changed in the main list 1 as well. So you can see exactly this is what we have got, the same result. Very common and basic maths. But sometimes, let's say if I copy this same thing, and let's say if I just go here and let's say copy.py, and I paste the same thing here. Now let's say I want that whatever changes I do here in the list 2, I don't want to make any changes or put any impact in the list 1, right? So what I can do here is that I can put like this, list 1 dot copy. Okay, so I have told Python that list 2 will be equals to list 1, but you have to make the list 1 copy. Okay, copy of the list 1. Now what it means to say is that I said to the Python that okay, list 1 we have, this is original. Okay, and I told that list to create the copy of a list 2. Okay, sorry, list 1, create the copy of it. So now I will going to implement or make the changes in the list 1. Okay, list 1 of the copy version, not the original one. So this is what it means. So I generally I have a list 1. Okay, but I added here dot copy. So Python will going to create the copy of this list 1. So let's say even whatever I make the changes in the list 2, let's say 100. Now this time if you will going to run it, you can see, sorry, wait, okay, list 2, let's say 0. Okay, wait, I guess, okay, it should, okay, here just put the brackets. Okay, this is important. If you run it again, now see, in the original one is same, that is the list 1 original one, but we have created the list 1 copy. So in the copy version we have make the changes, and that is reflected here. But in the previous one, list 2 was directly equals to list 1, and there was no copy we created. So because of that, the result was, this one, same, but this time as we have created the copy of it, so the result got different, right? So this is something you have the copy as well. Okay, very simple and easy stuff we have. You can also append it. Okay, append means we add the thing. So for example, here let's say I create a variable, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, now let's say I want to add some value to this list. So I can simply put a, and then if you put dot, you will see various methods like copy, we have learned about it, append, count, plenty of things we have. Now let's select append. Now let's say I want to add, let's say 4 in the list. Okay, now print a. Always remember, whenever it will going to append, the value will always be added to the very last of the list. Okay, you can see 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this is what append do. It will going to add the things, okay, at the end of the list. Okay, that is the append. Also we have extend dot py. Okay, now what it will going to do, for example, we have here 1 comma 2 comma 3, and in the b value we have, let's say 4 comma 5 comma 6, right? Now let's say I want to make the a dot extend. Okay, and what I want to extend, let's say b. So whatever the value we will going to have in the b, okay, so a will going to extend the value till the b. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so let me print a, sorry, small a. Let's run it. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so a has extended to the b. Okay, so whatever we have got the value in the a and also in the b, that has been got extended. Now we have another thing is the insert dot py. Now what it will going to do is that it will just going to add, insert the value wherever you want to. For example, let's say here we have value 1 2 3. Okay, now let's say in the, let's say 0 location, I want to add or insert something. So how I can do that? So I will write here a dot okay, a dot insert. So when you use this, so you need to open the brackets, and first it will ask you the location, on which location you want to add. So let's say I want to add in the 0 position. Right now in 0 position we have 1. So let's say I will put here 0, and in the place of 0, let's say I want to add, let's say hi Python, like this. Let's print a, like this. Let's run the application. You can see hi Python. Now in the 0 position we have here hi Python, and rest everything is same. Okay, so it we're just going to put the things, okay, in that particular location, and rest everything will be same. So that is the insert. Now let's say in the third position I want to put, let's say, hi Python. If you run it again, you can see everything will be same. But in the third position, you can see in third position we don't have anything. You can see 0, 1, 2, and in three position we don't have anything. So at the end it has added. Okay, so that is something. Okay, and let's say if you put here to maybe 2 in the last of this list, so you run it. Now you can see 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, and 0, 1, 2. Okay, and in the place of 2 right now currently that is 3. So instead of that it will put hi Python, and then it will going to add 3, okay, at the end. So that is the insert. Now we also have the remove dot ty. Okay, so for example 1 comma, wait, 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, a dot remove. Okay, now let's say I want to remove, let's say 3. Okay, if you just put here print a, run it, so you can see from the list it will remove the 3. So that is the remove function we have, the method. Okay, now let's talk about the pop. Pop is something like that remove only. Okay, so let's say if I put here dummy list. Okay, and let's say create a variable, let's say pop. You can name it whatever you want, and I want to put pop a dot pop. Okay, and I want in the, let's say, 0 location. Okay, position. Now if you print pop, run the application, so you can see in the 0 location. Okay, it will just going to pop it up. Pop means it will just going to show that. Okay, so in 0 location we have 1, so it has shown us the 1. Now if you put here, let's say 1 location, so in 1 location we have 2. Now if you run it, it will show you the 2. So that is the pop. If you want to pop some value, okay, from the list, so this is where you can use it. And we also have a clear dot py. Okay, so here let's put this value, and let's say I put a dot clear. Okay, now here you don't have to put anything, just print it. What it will going to do is that it will going to clear or remove the complete list, and it will make the list empty for you. So that is the clear method we have. Okay, now we also have, the concept of index. Now what is that? So suppose I put here some value, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma, let's say 8. Okay, and now let's say I want to index. Okay, I created a variable a dot, let's say, index. Now let's say here in which particular position, let's say in the third position, I want to index it out, and I want to see that what is in the third position. Okay, so just put print index. You can put whatever you want, like position, so here you can put position, like that, whatever you want. Now it will tell you that in the third uh, or I can say in the third one we have that value. Okay, so this is something we have over, here. Okay, so what it will going to do is that, let's say here you have a 3. So in which particular position, okay, I have told you position we have here, so it's in 2 positions. So it is start from 0, then 2 is in 1 position, and 3 is in 2 positions. So because of that it has shown you the 2 over here. So this is the index. Now let's say I want to know in which location. Let's say we have 1. So just put here 1, run it. So it will say that 1 is in 0 location, like that. So this will index will basically going to tell you about the position of any element. Okay, so this is something we have. Then we have here count.py. Now what it will going to do, suppose we have here plenty of numbers like 1 2 3 5 1. Okay, 1, then again 1 we have, and let's say we have here, let's say python. Okay, then again we have here, let's say 2. Okay, then we have 3, something like this. Now count function will help you to see how many frequently or how many time that particular element we have in the list. Now let's say if I put here, let's say counter, okay, equals to, let's say a dot count. Now whatever value you want to count, let's say I want to know that how many times 1 is available in the list. So I will type here 1 and just print counter, like this. Run the application. You will see it is saying 3 times. That means 1 is repeated 3 times. So in the list you can count 1 is available here 3 times. 1, 2 and 3. And let's say if I say here, let's say how many times python is available in the list. Run it, you can see 1 time, because this is in the list only 1 time python is counted. So that is the count one. We also have the sort uh, as well. So let's say we have some value here. Okay, let's say we have 90. Okay, 50. Okay, so any value it will just going to sort it up. Let's say some minus 6, or let's say minus 78, something like this. Now it we're just going to sort it the data. So put a dot sort and then print, let's say a, like this. To clear this up, run the application, and you can see it will sort the data. Okay, for you. So it will just going to put the things in the same order. Okay, or let's say even if we put here 89, 545, let's run it. You can see it will properly going to align the data for you. Okay, so that is the something we have here is the sorting of the data. Okay, and also you can reverse the thing. So suppose here, let's say we have, okay, wait, I will just go here. Reverse you can do, for example, I have here one list 1 comma 2 comma 3, and I want to reverse it. So I will just write a dot reverse and just print a, sorry, like this. Run it. You can see okay, should reverse. I don't know why it hasn't reverse. Wait, let me just kill all the terminal. Okay, let me just run it again. Okay, it should work. I don't know why it is not showing me up, but it should basically reverse the result, like from 1 to 3 should give us 3 to 1. So sometimes this could happen. So you can just close it up again, open the Visual Studio Code, and I believe this should work now. Okay, that's complicated. That's weird. Okay, let's put the, sorry, I have forgotten to put the bracket. Now if you will run it, so now it will be 3 to 1. Sorry, you just make sure that you put the brackets. Okay, So this is something, we have here. And also you can put the values like, minimum and maximum. Okay, so it will help you to know that what is the minimum and maximum value from the list. For example, here I put, let's say, uh, 1 comma 2 comma 3. So it will tell you that, let's say if I say here print, okay, and I want to know that here what is the minimum value we have, so from the list A, okay, and same I want to know that what is the maximum. So it's like, let's say you want to know about maximum value, okay, in the A. So you just put this particular statement inside your print. Okay, same thing like this. So let's see what is the minimum and maximum value. So you can see it's saying that the minimum value we have in the list is 1, and the maximum value we have here is the 3. So this is also something cool. Okay, we have over here, and also we have here common dot py. Okay, so for this we use interactions, okay, intersection. So for example, let's say here I put 1, 2 and 3, and in the B I put, let's say, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's say I want to put the interaction. Okay, so suppose I put uh, variable, I create one, let's say, variable set. Okay, and here I put A. Now I create S2. Okay, and let's say equals to, let's say, set B, like this. Now I want this S3 equals to, okay, S1 dot intersection of S2. Now if you print this S3, sorry, S3, now you will see the common. What is common here? We have 3. Okay, so it's in curly brackets. Okay, it has shown in the set. So in case if you want it to be in list, so just add one more bracket and put here list and close the bracket with the list. Run the application and you can say saying 3 is common in both of them. Okay, so this is something, we have. Okay, by the way, even if you put here, let's say, instead of this whole thing, okay, let's say if you put here A, and if you put here B, and it says 3, so uh, it will show you that error. So this is the reason we have put that one. Okay, you need to say that S1 is the set of A. So first you need to define that set, this is particular set. Okay, and so on, then only it will going to work, by the way. Okay, and then we have let's say the nested one as well. So nested will basically going to include multiple lists inside one list. For example, I put, let's say, A value equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and B equals to, let's say, 4 comma 5 comma 6. Now let's say I want to add the A1 as well, so I will put here A. So A, and let's say inside it I want to add one more list, so I can put, let's say, 6, 7 comma 8 comma 9, and let's say I want to print B. Okay, now see what will going to happen. So I have put 1 2 3 in the A value, and here is the A value. Okay, inside this same list, and inside this same list I have put one more list. Now if you print it up, you will see it will print like this 4 5 6, and then it will print the A value. So inside A we have 1 2 3, and then another list it will going to print inside it, that is the 7 8 and 9. Okay, so this is something very cool. And the last thing we have here is the if you remember, we have thought about the various ways we have. Okay, wait. If you go to the main file, okay, not in the main file. mm, okay, at the okay here ways. So now we have the list comparison. Now we have this concept as well. So let's talk about it. So this is last one. So basically it's too technical, not that much technical, but of course it's technical. So it has some syntax. So in the list you need to put expression, okay, for item in irritable. Okay, you can say it like range or maybe list if condition. So your expression, what could be the expression? Expression could be like, let's say, if you want to, let's say, multiply any x value by 2, this could be the expression, divide it or anything. So that is the expression. Okay, item, item is nothing but sort of a variable which you guys can create. And then we have this, by the way, sometimes we say it, let's say iterable. Now what is this? Okay, so iterable are basically some sort of a range. Okay, and conditions are totally optional. If you want to put some conditions, you can put that. So let's say I want to teach, let's say I want to create a variable squares. Okay, now let's say I will put this in the brackets. Now I will first going to add the expression. Now let's say expression could be, let's say there is, let's say, some value in okay, let's say I, okay, or let's say x. Okay, it's some, let's say, assume value. You need to, let's say, multiply it by 2. Okay, or let's say when you can say uh, just to go to the power of it. Okay, then after that syntax is for, so I will write for item. Now let's say what is the item. So let's say item is x. Okay, it could be any item. Okay, so right now in this particular syntax, this x is your variable, sorry, small x. If you put here I, so your I will be item. So whatever you want. So for example, in this example we have taken x. Okay, so in the item we have taken x in uh, irritable means range. So for example, in the range, let's say 1 to, let's say, 11. Okay, so I'm saying that this x value, see, 1 to 11 means range we have set here, let's say 1 to 11. Now what will going to happen? Python will put like this: 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Okay, and of course you know that 11 is excluded, so minus 1 is 10. Okay, so the concept of range we have already taught you over here in the loop range here. Okay, so we have the range. So we are saying that the x value will go to each range. That means first x will become equals to 1. Okay, then the x will become equals to 2, then x will become equals to 3, and similarly x will become equals to 10. Okay, after it, x will basically go to this range where x will become equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9 10. Okay, till 10. And then what will going to happen? X will going to follow this expression. So x value is, let's say, first this time 1, then it will become power to power 2 of the 2. So 1 to the power 2. then you will going to get that value. Then again that will going to happen over here again. Now this time x will become 2, so instead of 1 it will become 2, so 2 to the power 2, and so on. Now if you print, let's say, squares, run it, you can see it will give you the power 1 to the power, okay, 2 is 1. Then here we have 2 to the power 2, it's 4. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, okay. And the same concept will apply here. Let's say this time x will become 3, so it will 3 to the power 2, that means 3 multiplied by 3, 3 3 is a 9, so we have got 9, and so on. So this is the list comprehension, okay. And this is also a way you can utilize the list, okay. Very simple, and nothing complicated over here. And this condition is optional, okay. So let's say if you want to add the condition, so what you can do, let's say we have done till this now, okay. And if condition is very optional, if you want to filter out some data and all, so let's say if, for example, let's say if I want to add condition, so I will write here if, because if helps you to start the condition. And let's say I want x, the modulus of 2 equals to 0, so I only want the even number, okay. So whatever the range is, so I only want the expression of even number, like 2 4 6. Now if you run it, so it will only going to give you for the even number, like 2 4 6 8 and 10. So this is where you can also add conditions, whatever condition you want, okay. So this is, my dear friends, all about the list, okay. We have covered each and everything in very detail, okay. So guys, make sure that whatever we have taught you in the list, like alias, append, clear, common, so all of the things has been included in the notes, okay. So you can just visit here to the notes, scroll down, and you will going to notice that part 5 is added. If you tap on it, you will see here one video will also be added, okay, very soon, okay. So by when you will come to the article, so by that time the new video will be added here. But whatever we have taught, if you just click on the top arrow button, and if you scroll down here, okay, so you will see the list, tuples and dictionaries, okay. If you click on the list, you can see whatever we have taught you, everything has been covered over here. Like list features is order, mutable, dynamic, and so on, okay. And heterogeneous means it can store any type of a data, so this is also something we have here. Then how to create a list, so we have that basic list operations which you guys can do, alias versus copy, okay. Useful list function, that is the length, minimum, maximum, okay. So everything has been sort of covered here, like searching, counting, sorting, reversing, slicing, and many more, okay. So make sure that you follow the article, okay. Now guys, we will going to cover about tuples, okay. So let me just create a new folder. Now when we talk about, guys, tuple, okay, so tuple is another sort of a list, okay, which we show in the small brackets, okay. Now when we talk about, let's say, tuples, okay, so it's a immutable, that means you cannot change it. That means it's sort of a, it's like a strict parents. And the thing is that uh, it is very strict, okay. That means you cannot perform a lot of functions and methods on tuples. Now let's teach you, okay. So the basic things, like you have learned plenty of things in the list, okay. So in tuples the things get very limited. and there's not too much. Okay, so what are the basic things, which we can do with tuple? Okay, like you can do some basic things. Maybe let's say like you can create, uh, I can say like wait. Okay, so you can do like length function. Okay, you can do maybe minimum and maximum things. Okay, and you can do count. Okay, some basic things you guys can perform in the tuples. Okay, not too much of the thing. Okay, so this is what tuple is all about. Okay, so for example, let's say if you create a file over here with in the tuple. Okay, so let's say you have one variable 1 comma 2 comma 3, and let's say you want to know the or make want to make some modification here. So as I have told you that it's immutable. Now what does this mean? You cannot change anything. For example, let's say if I want that in the place of 0, okay, where right now 1 is, so I just want to replace that with 100. So just print a, run it, and you will see you will going to get the error. So basically tuple, you can see here, tuple does not support this type of activity. That means you cannot do any type of a modification over here. Okay, but of course you can extract some of the data. So for example, let's say here, let me just increase it, okay, like this. And let's say instead of this I want to uh, get some of the data, like let's say I want from 0 location, I want to get the top 3 result step by step. Okay, so you all know, right? Now 0 means start, 3 means stop, and 1 is the distance. Okay, the step. I will go with that, and you can see it will extract the result for us. So these are the basic things you guys can do in the tuple. So as I have mentioned, you can just perform some basic things like length, minimum, max, count, index, sorting, such things. But it doesn't, the tuple doesn't have the flexibility like you have in the list. So this is the something you need to note. Okay, now guys, when we talk about the tuples which we have discussed, okay, so here in the tuple there is not too much, but still we have added in the blog article about the tuple. If you go to the top, you will see tuple is included here, not that too much, but still we have here, okay, about the tuple. Okay, and by the way, if you see here, plenty of things has been covered, okay, over here. And after the tuples, we will going to see, we will now start with the dictionary. So whatever we will going to cover in the dictionary, okay, right now we will start with the dictionary. Okay, so everything has been taught in the or everything has been noted in the notes here. Okay, so which you guys can prefer. Okay, so this is something we have here. So make sure after completing or watching the dictionary, so here you will see all the notes related to that, okay, which we will going to cover. So you will going to read the notes and you will going to understand. Okay, so whatever concepts we will going to teach you, so on that basis we have the dictionary here, so you can watch it. So let's now start with the dictionary. But before that, one more thing, if you just go to our website, let's say KuKu courses. Okay, go to our website kukucourses.com, and just make sure that in the library, whatever you have learned till now, let's say, or we will also going to cover dictionary. Okay, like here we have list, tuples, and of course we will going to cover dictionary. So related to that, all the things has been included in this library. Okay, so if you click on the library, you can see in the developer kit we have all the things like 100 plus vs shortcuts. Okay, python 200 plus python projects. So these are mini projects, and if you will complete all these things. Okay, so now you will be able to do or uh, uh, do these projects, and you will become more expertise in Python and all. And not only Python, we have plenty of things from games in Python, okay, programming courses, and plenty of other things we have included in the this particular library. Okay, we have. And also you can see video editing resource, okay, where we will provide you animations, transitions, and plenty of other things. Okay, 50 plus GB of the video editing assets you will going to get, and plenty of other things we have. Okay, so make sure that you check all of them. It's only $4.23 one-time payment, and you will going to get each and every of the thing, okay, in the library. Okay, and you will also going to get free access to new libraries which we will going to add in future, okay, without any charges, just with one-time payment. Okay, so make sure that you explore that. And now let's start with the dictionary. Now guys, we will going to talk about the dictionary. Now guys, dictionaries are always in the curly brackets, and it's whatever methods and whatever things you have done in the list, all the things you guys can do with the dictionary. So let's discuss about the dictionary in very detail. So the very first thing, let's say I will just go ahead with, let's say, main.py here, and let me just first teach you guys the concept of it. Okay, so guys, when first thing, always note that dictionaries will always be denoted with the curly brackets. Okay, okay, always remember in the curly brackets. Now whenever you go with the dictionary, so it will going to have two things. Okay, one is the key, which is in the left side, and another one will be the value. For example, key, and another one will be the value. Okay, and inside any dictionary you can add as many as key and value. Okay, so what is the key? So guys, key is like a main matrix, and value is basically the main numerical, or it can be any value, whether it can be in the form of a text, number, decimals. Okay, so it will be always related to the matrix. For example, let's say when we talk about, let's say, the dictionary. Okay, so always remember it has the same characteristics when we talk about the dictionaries, like it will going to have it is mutable. Okay, it also is dynamic, right? So and of course, like list, it is also ordered. Okay, so these are the things you need to know. So suppose I create one dictionary. Okay, let's say my dictionary. Now as I have told you that it will also be like, you have to create one variable and name that variable as I put my dictionary. And I told you that it will be always on the basis of key and value. Okay, so just copy it, paste it here. Okay, so first key, let's say our key can be, let's say, maybe like my name, and you all know that it's a text, so I will put it here. And what is the name of it? So what's the value? So let's say value is final, like this. So this is how the dictionary works. So dictionary will always going to have a key, okay, and the value related to that. And if you want to add more, just put comma, again add one key and value. Now let's say another key, we can say maybe, let's say, age, and let's say I put my age 24. Okay, and if you want to add more, you can put that. Of course, let's say I want to put marks, comma, marks is another key, and value for this is, let's say, 88, even 0.88. Okay, like this. So this is how basically the dictionary works. Like you normally do, put one variable, inside that you can put the dictionary in the curly brackets, and it will going to have the key and value. And it's not like that the key will always be the text, it can be something different. For example, let's say I can put let's say 80. Now 89, let's say, what is this? It's my mark, so I can put it like this. So key can also be a number, anything decimal or anything. Okay, so it's very simple and easy to use dictionary. Okay, so this is how, my dear friends, dictionary works. Okay, nothing complicated. Now let's say if I just copy this one, and let's say if I go here, create dot py, and let me paste it. And if you want to print, let's say, my dictionary, just print it, my dictionary, like this. Run the application, you can see it will going to print each and everything. That name is Kunal, age is 24, marks he has got is 88.88, and 89 is the marks of Kunal, like that. Okay, something like this. Okay, so very simple, nothing complicated over here. And now it's not always like that, that you can always put. Okay, let's say for example I have this wait, let me remove this. Let's say I have this marks. Okay, so it's not like that I can only put one value, or let's say you can put anything. For example, let's say you can even put in the tuples. Okay, you can also put it in the form of, let's say, list. So in the value you can also put the list as well. Okay, for example, my marks are, let's say, 70, 69, let's say 93, and let's say 85. So in the value you can also put the marks. Okay, and you can put it inside dictionary, sets, whatever you want to. So this is how amazing it is. And if you run the application, you can see it will going to print that for you. Awesome. So this is how it works. Okay, so hope you guys have somehow understood it. Now let's say let's see how you can add anything to your list. So suppose you have let's say fruits. Okay, let's create the dictionary of fruits, and put equals to, and put curly brackets. You can click it on the, you can click enter button, so it will be in the middle. And let's say I want to write fruits, and the fruits, and the fruits will be, let's say I want it to be, let's say, inside the list. So for example, let's say banana. Okay, I can have, let's say I can have maybe apple, let's say, then comma, it could also be in cherry, whatever you want. Okay, now after this I will put comma. So now I want to add one more key, let's say it's category, and colon, and the value for this category is basically it's related to fruits. Now if you just go ahead and print, let's say, fruits, run the application, you can see it will going to print for you. The fruits are banana, apple and cherry, and the category is fruits. Okay, very simple. Now let's say I want to add something over here. So how I can add that? So for example, let's say I can first of all call this whatever variable you have set. So for example, fruits. Then you just need to add, let's say I want to add price, and the price I want to make it, let's say, equals to 100. Now I will again going to print, let's say, fruits. Now clear it up, let's run it, and boom, you can see that earlier we have this old one till category. Now one more is automatically added, that is the price. Very cool. Now guys, see, if there is some twist, if you copy this and let's say if you want to ever update the dictionary. Now guys, for update, the same pattern will be like we have done for the ad. Now you need to understand it very carefully. Now you can see, let's say, um, if you have, let's say, category here, so I will just going to copy the category here and paste the category here, and let's say I want to put it, let's say, vegetable. Run the application. You can see now earlier it was fruits, now it updated to vegetable. Now what basically happened, see, always remember that if any value, let's say we have put here price, so this price is not available in this dictionary, so it will going to add that. Okay, it will going to add that. So that is the reason it has add that particular element here, because this price key is not existing in this particular dictionary. But in this case what was happening is that this category is already existing, so we have set the key here. I just copy that same key here which was already existing in the key, and that key I make it equals to, let's say, vegetable. So that's the reason it updated now. So always remember that whenever if any key will already exist there, and if you set that same key here and if you make it equal to something, so it will going to update. But if any key which you will going to put here which is not existing in the dictionary, so it will going to add that item. Okay, so here what happened when we set price, so this price is not available here or not existing here, so that's the reason it has added the price key and it has also added the value of it. But in update what happened is that the category is already existing, so it will going to override it. Okay, so from the fruits we have set it to vegetables, and you can see it got just updated to vegetable. So this is what you need to know about it. Okay, so hope you guys have somehow understand the concept of it. Now let's just go ahead to another concept. Now let's say this time I will put delete.py. Now here let's say I want to delete something. So now what's happening is that if you put it here, fruits, and if you run it, so I can see all these things. Okay, now let's say I want to delete something. So for example, let's say wait, let me just copy the add one. Okay, wait, let me just, okay, let's add, wait, so here let me just add one more thing. Let's say comma, price, colon, let's say 100. So now let's say I want to delete something. So let's say I will put here like this, delete. Okay, then I will call the variable where the dictionary is stored. So this time it's fruits. Then what you want to remove, you have to set it. So for example, if I want to go ahead with the price, so I want the price to get deleted. So once you put that, you can select what you want to delete, category you want to delete, you want to delete the fruits key, or you want to delete the price key. So let's say I select the price key, and now let's print it again. Let's clear it up. Let's run the application, and you can see in our original we have price, but it has deleted the price. So that is what you guys can do over here. Okay, very cool and great. Okay, now let's see how you can get any information. So I have this list here. Okay, now let's say I want to get something. So for getting anything, you can just put here the dictionary name and dot get. Okay, this is how it will work. Now let's say I will let's say I want to get the uh, price. Okay, or let's say category I want to get. So I will just going to let's say add one let's say variable, let's say get category. okay, something like this, equals to, I will call that variable fruits dot, okay, fruits dot, let's say what I want is to, I want to get, now what you want to get, I want to get the category, like this, and just print, let's say get category. Now if you run it, you can see it will going to say that category value is fruit, so it has extracted that information for you. So get will help you to extract the information you want. You can keep this whatever you want, for example, let's say category, or let's say extract, whatever you want, you can put that name here, will going to work the same way. Okay, so that is about it. Now another thing which I want to tell you is that, now if I put here, let's say category 2, now I know that category 2 doesn't exist here, so you will going to notice it will say none. You can see it will say none. So whenever, let's say if you put any key which is not available at the top, and like here we have put category 2 as a key which is not exist in the fruits dictionary, so the reason it given as the none. Okay, so this is what you guys can do. Okay, and the best thing is that you can also customize the error. For example, if I want to instead of none, I want to show, let's say not found, so I can just write like this, not found, so it will even customize my error. You can see not found. Now if I put here, let's say only two category, so category is found, so that's the reason it's shown fruits. But let's say if anything doesn't found, for example if I put 4 or anything like that, and if we don't found it, so it will say not found. So you can even customize the message. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's create a new variable, let's say keys. Now let's say you want to get the key, so for example let's say I create a profile, curly brackets, click on enter, and let's say I put here name, and the name is, let's say Kunal, comma, let's say I put here maybe age, colon, my age is 24. Okay, then comma, and then you can also put your salary, colon, let's say you can put your salary as well. Okay, so whatever you want to, you can do that. Okay, so I created a simple dictionary. Now let's say I want to get all the key, that means key is name, age and salary. Now let's say I want to get it, so for that you can just, let's say, write whatever variable you want to, you can put it whatever you want, for example k, whatever you want, then profile dot, okay, right here keys, like this, print key. Now if you run it, it will pass, or it will give you all the key that are available in the dictionary. For example name, age and salary. You can see that name, age and salary. So that's how you can extract the key. Now you can see it's given you in the form of tuples. Okay, so let's say you want it to get in the list, so you can just convert, put one bracket and say like list, put one more bracket, and now it will going to give you the response in the list, like name, age and salary. So this is what you can even do. Okay, very simple. And the same procedure we have it for the value. Now let's say you want to get the value, so very simple. For example I put here name, let's say, and instead of this keys I can put here values. Okay, and put v here. Now instead of keys it will going to give you the values. like Kunal 24 and the amount. You can see Kunal 24 and amount. Okay, very simple. Now let's say you want to get all the items, okay, from the key to value. Okay, so for that we have another method which is known as, let's say if I put here a, okay, for, or let's create a variable all. Okay, so profile dot, let's say whatever you want. So for example, if I just write here items, that's it, and here let's say put here all, like this, run it, and it will going to give you all the key and the value. Name is Kunal, age 24, salary this much. Okay, very simple and great. Now let's also discuss about, let's say, pop. So if I just go here, pop.py, so you all know what pop do. It will just going to pop up that particular value and it will going to remove that from the list. For example, let's say I have this dictionary, and let's say if I write here pop, okay, equals to profile dot pop. Now what do you want to pop? So let's say I want to pop maybe age. Okay, then I will just going to print the pop, run the application. You will going to see it will pop up the age value, that is 24, and it will also going to remove it. So even if you print the profile again, you will see the difference. You can see 24 it has removed, okay, and the age is now gone from the dictionary. So that is what pop will going to do for you. Okay, and of course, like here, let's say if you put here age, maybe let's say 2, you will see it will say error or something like that. Okay, so that is the something you guys can even do, or instead of this you can say like, let's say not found. So same thing you can do it over here. Okay, so you can say not found, like that. So instead of showing this complex error, you can even customize the error. Now if the value is in the existing dictionary, so it will directly going to work the program like 24 is the age, and it will remove it from the dictionary. But if anything is not available, like let's say age 46 is not available in the dictionary, so it will pass our custom error message. Okay, so this is something very great. Okay, and now let's say I want to, let's say, remove all of them. So suppose I just go here and let's say I put pop items.py. I will paste it over here, okay, like this. And let's say if I just go here, pop underscore I, okay, and profile dot, I will say just remove all of this and right here pop item. Okay, and here just print pop underscore I. Okay, print profile like this, run the application, and boom, you can see what it has done is that it will just going to show you all of that value over here. Okay, so this is what it will going to do. Okay, and let's say we also have clear. So suppose if I uh, copy, and let me just go with the clear.py. Now if you want to clear something, okay, so for example, let's say if you run it, print profile, so everything will be printed as usual, that is the common. But let's say I want to clear something, so I will just going to write cleared as a variable I will create, and I will just going to put profile dot clear, like this. Now if you copy and paste it here again, run it, now you will see everything is clear. So earlier we have everything everything in the list, but after performing this particular action of clear, Now our list is become empty. So this is something you have over here as well. Okay, and also you might have heard about the list comparisons. Okay, where we have given you one formula. So same sort of things we have here. Compression. Okay, compression dot py. So like you have done earlier, squares. Okay, and let's put it in the key. So for example, x will be the key, and for the value I want to use that same concept. Okay, so if you notice that same thing. Okay, remember the expression. So first you create some expression. Let's say I want x multiply by x. Okay, for let's say x in range, let's say between 1 to 5, like this. Now print squares. Run the application. You can see it will going to say that 1 into 1, 2 into 2 4, 3 into 3 9, 4 into 4 16. So basically this is the key. Okay, so for example, let's say first range is from 1 to 4. Okay, so you all know that the range belongs to 1 to 4. So this time x will become 1. Okay, so that's the reason you can see in the key it has allotted the x value as a 1. Okay, and then we have set that 1 multiplied by 1. This is the expression we have set. 1 x, first the x value will be 1. Okay, so always remember that first x value will be 1, then 2, then 3, and then x value will be 4. Okay, then we said that whatever the x value, just multiply it by itself. So 1 into 1, then 2 into 2, then 3 into 3, and then 4 into 4. Okay, like this. So 16. So that is exactly what we have got. So this is the something you have over here. And also we have the nested. So as you can create multiple dictionaries inside each other. Okay, so for example, let's say if we have, let's say uh, so I created this list. Okay, and let's say I create a key Python, and let's say inside Python, let's say I create additional dictionary. So I will again going to create dictionary, and let's say name is Python. Okay, comma, use case of the Python. Let's say I can uh, put that inside the list. Let's say use in, let's say AI, comma, let's say automation, comma, let's say data science, etc, etc. So this is what I have done. Then what I can do is that I can just do the same thing. For example, is I can copy this part, go here, click on next, comma, paste it here, and instead of Python, let's say now we have Java, name is Java, use case, let's say it's for the app, and let's say in the development, like that. Okay, so this is how, my dear friends, it works. So you can see you have created the dictionary inside dictionary. Run it, and boom. So here you can see we have one key, and inside this we created one more dictionary. So this is the main dictionary. You can see open and close. So this is the main dictionary, and inside dictionary you can see we have created one more dictionary, this one, and then we have put comma, and then we created another key, and we have another dictionary. So that's how nested things work. And you can also perform the loop. okay, as well. For example, let's say loop dot py. Okay, so let's say I have here this profile. Let me just copy paste it here. So for example, I can say for keys in profile print keys. Okay, now if you see here, let's run it. So you can see it will print name, age and salary, the keys. Okay, you can name it whatever you want, even if you put k, so that will going to do the same thing, okay, for you. Okay, like that. But let's say if you want to get the value, so just write here dot values. Okay, now it will going to give you the values. Okay, sorry, here just put the brackets like that. Run it, and you can see now it has given us the value Kunal 24 and salary. Okay, like that. And let's say if you want to get, let's say, all items, just write like this, and it will going to give you all from name, from key to value, both of them. So that's how the dictionary works. Okay, it's very flexible, like we have here in the list, same we have in the dictionary. So till now we have covered whatever will be sufficient for you for the list, dictionaries and all of them. Okay, and this is all I wanted to cover about the list in very detail.